Shauna Butler is joining us today. So glad you're here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Well, we're going to talk about your physical health. You have a great story. You started transforming your own body after 40, which is not easy to do. I want to know what was the turning point that got you to like say, okay, it's time to do something different.
Yeah, I would love to share. It's my favorite thing to talk about. I have a true passion for fitness just because I've seen what it can do for myself as well as other women. So I'm always excited to talk about it. And again, I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me to be here today. It's really an honor to meet you, to talk to you, and then of course to serve all the other women that might be watching this. But my whole life I was kind of, in the gym chasing fat loss. A lot of us can relate to that. But I was kind of doing it in a way that was disserving my body and didn't not realizing it. The 90s didn't really do us any favors with all of the diet culture that we came up in, moving more, eating less, trying to burn off all of these calories. It really did us a disservice. So I was in a place at 40. I had just had my son. We had our first son later on in life. So I was turning 40 that year. I was 39, turning 40, had my first child. Two things that I had heard my whole life were going to ruin my body, and that would be that. So I was ready for a different approach with fitness. Number one, because I was a new mom, like life was going to look different. I couldn't spend every day in the gym. But also, I was burnt out with the things that was doing. And as a mom who was older, my goal was to make sure I was healthy and strong for as many years as I can be for my son and be here hopefully to see his babies and be a fit grandma. So that led me to just search in a different direction when it came to health. It was different. It wasn't just about aesthetics anymore. It was truly about what health looked like. And that led me down a journey of knowing that muscle was really the key component when we're talking about longevity, metabolic health, hormonal health, energy, like having a body that works with you instead of against you. So once I dove into that direction, it was eye opening to see that eating more, like focusing on getting stronger, taking care of my body instead of trying to burn it and whittle it away, was so transformative inside and out. And so, little by little, over the last now 7 years, I have transformed my body, but also my mindset to a place where I'm feeling better than I ever have. And I'm 46. Well, yeah, 46 this year. I'll be 47 next year. And I'm just excited. I'm excited for the years to come. Instead of being afraid of getting older and aging, I'm excited for what's ahead. And I know that if that's something that I can do, I know, or if that's a place I was in, I know there's other women that are there that are afraid of their bodies, afraid of getting older, feeling stuck, feeling discouraged, feeling like the best years are behind them. And I just like, I'm so passionate to help others get out of that place and realize that the best is still ahead.
Yes, absolutely. Us older ladies, as I am as well, well over 40. And I think a lot of people, they kind of feel like, yeah, I'm over 40. I feel like it's like downhill for my health and energy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like what's something you wish that they knew, when they've got that mindset of, man, it's just, it's all downhill.
That it's just beginning. I honestly think this is probably one of the best times to be starting your fitness journey. Number one, because we just have a better understanding of who we are. At this age and stage, we've all been through a lot of things, and we aren't afraid to kind of step into who we should be, and so unapologetically, which is really important. And we still have time and we still have a unique opportunity to completely transform our bodies. And it's never too late. You're never too old. And this is a perfect time to start to shift the goal of just being small to being strong so that this next chapter can be full of life for you. All kinds of opportunities that you don't even know exist can be right there so long as you take that bold step to maybe step into a different direction.
Yes. Well, you have your Becoming Her Fitness. So
Yes.
you host a podcast. That's your business. So tell me about Becoming Her, like kind of the name and like what that means.
Yeah. So becoming her, I think, just embodies the idea of becoming your best, like whoever that is for you. And we all have that idea in our head of like who we want to be, how we want to serve others, how we want to show up in the world. And a lot of times we feel like that's so far out of reach. But when you start to take those actions of caring for yourself, loving your body, not necessarily trying to hate it into a version that you love, but loving it into a version that you love, then it allows you to become her, that best version of you. And so when I walk, when I'm working with clients, when I'm talking on my podcast, that's what I want women to do. I don't want them to have this relationship with fitness anymore that's destructive. I want it to be romanticized. I want it to be exciting. I want it to be something that they are just jumping out of bed to start to attack, because it's just a different relationship, and it's a journey to becoming their best.
Yeah. So what's the motivation? There's motivation, obviously. Like we think this is me, and I'm going to speak for myself here and
Okay.
say, yeah, I know I should be, doing more fitness. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know where to start. What would be like a great first step just to say, okay, if you did this, this would get you in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if we're talking, we'll talk about three different categories. So we'll talk about nutrition. Protein is like the staple. It is the key component to building a healthy body inside and out, not just for muscle, but every cell in your body renews every single day, and those amino acids from proteins are the building blocks that help remake everything. So without enough, you're just not going to have the right resources to build that beautiful body or have nice healthy hair, skin, all of those things. So having enough protein is a key component to do all of those things, and it helps to regulate your blood sugar, your mood, your level, your energy levels for the day. So just starting with that, focusing, making sure that every meal is protein centric. Like think about
Mm.
before you start planning your meals, what is my protein? Make that like the star of the show, and then think about what else you're going to add to it in terms of like carbohydrates, vegetables, fruits, those kinds of things. And then in terms of movement, like daily movement, we know just general movement in general is so beneficial for stress levels, blood sugar, digestion, for just mood in general. So getting out and getting active, like it doesn't have to be anything official. Go out with your kids, go out with your husband, go out with your puppies, like try to get some movement in during your day, especially if you can get outside. But even if you can't, just try to get in more movement. Like when we are sedentary, that's when things start to go in a direction we don't want them to. So just more movement, or even dance, like dance in your kitchen with your kids when you're cleaning up after dinner. And then strength training. That's got to be like your when we're talking about exercise, that has to be like your main focus, especially over 40. After age 30, we start to lose muscle mass unless we are actively trying to preserve it and to build it. And that's the beginning of a decline with hormonal health, metabolic health, and overall health. So making sure that we're prioritizing that can really transform our bodies, not just in like, yes, longevity is fun, like, or it's important to focus on. We want to be healthy and thriving as these next decades come along, but it's also what's going to give your body that shape, that defined look, that toned look. Like you can't get toned unless you have that muscle base. So really leaning into how strong you can get, not just like focusing on what the scale is saying, but instead of the numbers on the scale, I want you to think about the numbers in the gym. How much are you lifting? Are you getting stronger every week? When you do that, when you focus on just getting stronger, it really can unlock a body that you never knew was possible.
Those are great tips. I hope everybody was writing that down. Uh, and so you talked about muscle, building muscle, and I think you mentioned a correlation to hormones.
Yeah.
And when here we are over 40, and we're starting to deal with all of these hormonal changes. What's the effect there? What's the correlation?
So muscle is, it having more muscle just helps to optimize your hormonal profile. Like obviously we get a natural decline as we age, but if you want to optimize and really get your hormone levels into a good place, having more muscle tissue is what's going to do that. If you want a youthful hormonal profile, like you want to tap into like the secret to staying young, it is muscle tissue. that's where you're going
Okay.
to really have a better hormonal profile. And I'm not saying that, at some point you may need some support in that area, but muscle tissue, having the more muscle tissue you have on your body, the better that you will be naturally with your hormones as well.
Okay, so now that I did not know. So thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that. I think that's an excellent bit of information there. Okay. Whew. Okay, we're getting good information. We're not even talking about marketing yet, or anything like that, or business, but I do want to talk about your faith.
Yes.
How does your faith and your relationship with God kind of shape the way that you are coaching women and approaching your health?
I love that question. I appreciate you asking that, because that was another like component that changed for me when I had my son. Um, I remember having this moment with him. I was a new mom. I was looking, longingly at him, just in amazement at this beautiful, perfect child, and thinking to myself, he deserves everything, and there's nothing in this
Mm,
world that I wouldn't do or give to him. And immediately I had the thought of like, that is how I am seen by God.
mm,
That is how we
yes.
all are seen. And so it gave me this immediate like reframe to just to how I viewed myself, and then became a different relationship to me and myself. Again, thinking of how I was going to mother this little boy, he was going to learn from what I said, but more so from
Mm,
what I did, from how I acted things out. So I had to create a different relationship with myself. And that came from me getting to know God better and deepening
mm,
my faith and getting back into just daily prayer, connection, and trying to center myself around His Word and trying to serve. And it's just been a beautiful transformation, and it really is something that I think can walk hand in hand when you are trying to do hard things in life. Um, the stronger your faith is, the more fueled you're going to be on that journey. Mhm.
You can call God the protein, right? We'll
Yeah,
just say,
yes.
it's kind of like the protein is what you need. Well, you also need God.
He's
So he's like
he's
the
your hype
protein. So
man.
there,
Yeah, he's your hype
you're
man.
right. He's a hype man. I like that. That's good. Well, as far as, working out and doing all of these things, changing your lifestyle, a little bit of diet and things like that, it requires discipline. So, that's a tough one for a lot of people. But I want to get your take on discipline when it comes to changing your health and discipline in business and how that kind of goes together.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, faith kind of ties into there as well. You have to be
Yeah.
disciplined in your faith. A
Yes.
lot of times we have desires, we have prayers, we have wants we come to God with, and it's not an immediate satisfaction. Nothing immediately shows up at your doorstep. You have to continue to walk in faith. You have to continue to be bold
Mm,
and continue to be strong and resilient and show up. And with your fitness journey, with your business journey, the same thing can be said. You have to do those small steps and plant those seeds and just water them and understand that things are going to take time. But if you just keep showing up, eventually those seeds will sow, and
mm,
all of those efforts will come. You'll be rewarded for all those hard efforts, and there's a beauty in that. There's a beauty in continuing to show up even when you don't feel like things are changing. And I talk to my clients all the time about this. It's like the people that you see that have success, women that are successful in business or with fitness, they've just been willing to walk the walk longer than most. And they've been willing to
mm,
fail and learn, get back up, try again, and just have the faith that no matter what, if they keep going, things will come to be. So I think all of it can play a part and help each other. Like if you're disciplined in the gym, it will be easier for you to stay disciplined in your business. If you're disciplined with your faith, again, that's going to bleed into everything else in the rest of ways.
yeah. So discipline and consistency, all of those things, key elements for number one, health. And then also in business, I know that, in marketing, I have a lot of clients that, they're a little small, or maybe they're starting out in social media. And they're like, well, I posted once on social media. It didn't work. And, and so,
Right.
it's the same thing. It's like,
Same
okay,
thing.
you gotta keep going. You gotta keep
Yeah.
doing it. And I mean, I posted things that were major flops. Okay. Like
For part of the process. Yeah.
that's all part of the process and you
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah.
And that's, that goes along with everything as far as, changing your health and in business. So we're going to try some things and, and you just got to try. Just
You
got to
just gotta
move
try.
forward. Just
Right.
got to move
Fail
forward.
forward. And I heard this comparison before. Like disciplined, it's kind of like a hard word. It's a little bit of a masculine word. So if that feel doesn't feel good to you, then be devoted. Be devoted to
Mm,
everything in your
that's
life.
good.
Whatever is important to you, whatever you feel like is a critical component to your life, like your health, your business, your family. Be devoted to that. Show up
Mm,
regardless of what happens. Keep showing up, and just stay
that's
devoted to
so
it.
good.
It's good.
So good. I like that word, devoted. Devoted.
Yeah.
That's very good. So here's one thing that I myself have said many times. I'm a little too busy. I'm building a business. I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I can't focus on fitness right now.
Hmm.
Um, so is that just a mindset? Or do you have ways to shift that mindset? Any techniques to, carve out the time?
Yeah, I mean, I know there's so many of us that are busy and we're juggling, we're wearing so many hats, like we're mothers, we're wives, we're business owners, there's so many things on our to-do list that oftentimes it feels like there is no time, but if you don't make time, this quote is really powerful, but if you don't make time for health, then you're going to eventually have to make time for sickness. And when you are
Mm,
not your best, you can't
that's
serve your
good.
best. You cannot show up 100% when you're not
Yeah.
taking care of you. And so, and it doesn't necessarily mean you have to spend every single day in the gym. That's one powerful shift that I made too. Before I had my son, I was in the gym 6 days a week, 2 hours a day, trying to just, like I said, burn my little body away. And that wasn't productive. And so the
Mm,
nice shift now is that I can do less with more because I'm intentional with how I'm training, how I'm eating.
mm,
And it doesn't mean that I have to live in the gym, but it does mean I have to prioritize my physical well-being, because if I don't, then the other things that are important to my in my life will suffer. And the same can be said for anyone. If you want to have success with your relationships, with your children, you want to show them, more importantly, you want to be that example of what it looks like to take care of yourself, to love yourself, to have a healthy life. You have to kind of walk that walk and show them what that looks like.
yeah. So now, when you're working with your clients, and like you said, you're kind of putting together plans. Is that what you're doing for them? Is plans for fitness as well as diet? Like, what's the average? I mean, not everybody's different, I know, and you're doing these custom for the particular person. But
Yeah.
what's average? Like, how many hours should we be spending in the gym?
Oh, I mean, 30 minutes 3 times a day, and you will go very far, very far. It doesn't not, like I said, it's not about how much, it's not about quantity, it's more
Mm,
about quality. Like, what are we doing that, if we are really focused on getting in the gym, getting some muscle, building some muscle in that 30 minutes with some compound movements, strength training movements, then the rest will fall into place, especially when you're prioritizing protein, getting in that movement, like I said. And walking is so complementary to weight training because it's restorative. It's not stressful. It's not impacting your body in a negative way. It's not taking away from your muscle tissue. And it's something that you don't need a gym to do. So you're not having to spend any other extra time away from your business, away from your family. In fact, it's very inclusive. It's something that you can do on a business call or with your family. So it's a great way to kind of make sure you're building muscle, staying active, and having the best of both worlds.
mm. Well, I feel encouraged already to know. Well, that's all it takes. I
Yeah.
mean, that's I could do that. I could fit that in my schedule. So that's good to know. And so working with you, you would be very specific about here are the things that you need to do that are going to get you to the goal that you desire. Is that kind of how you work?
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
above that though, I think there's a lot of mental work that we have to do because so many of
Mm,
us, again, going back to what we learned and what we heard and the things that we kind of just these beliefs that we've kind of drug into our life, we kind of have to let those go. And so that's hard to do. It's easier said than done, and I know this from experience. So it's just a matter of having someone in your corner to help walk you through those periods of time that are uncomfortable, where you're having to
mm,
kind of break those barriers that are holding you back, and just step into something that's different and new, and having someone to guide you and let you know it's going to be okay. And so that's a big component as well.
Well, I think sometimes we think, oh, I'm not going to spend the money on me, or I can do it on my own. Um, what's your best advice for that? Because I mean that goes for you know fitness and health as well as marketing and all the things,
Yeah.
and it's kind of the yes you can
Yes.
DIY, if you will.
Yeah.
But tell us more about the benefits of actually working with somebody and investing in yourself and your
Yeah.
business.
And listen, I'm a big DIY girly, so I get it. Like
Me
I'm
too.
I'm the first one to like I'll do my own nails, I'll do my own haircuts, like you name it, I'll try it. But there are cases where, I think it is wise to go to the person who's already done what you want to do and learn from them.
Yes.
Like success leaves clues and just follow those clues. And I've done before, like I spent decades kind of spinning my wheels, not realizing like I was doing a lot of things wrong. And that's the same with my business. Like once I did want to get into the realm of like helping other women and coaching other women, initially I was kind of floundering, figuring things out on my own. And there's a big web out there now. We have lots of information at our fingertips, but sometimes that's too. It's not a good thing. Too much information can be hard to sort through and make sense of. But when you get with the right person who understands where you are because they had a similar path, then they can walk you through exactly what it's going to take so that you can streamline to your success that much faster. And so it will just save you a lot of time, heartache, frustration when you are working with someone who is an expert and has already been where you are and is where you want to be.
Yeah, I see it as like it's kind of like it's a shorter distance to where
Yeah.
you want to get to.
Right.
So you could DIY and have to learn all this stuff, all the stuff that you've already learned and spent years,
Mm-hmm.
or you can just work with you
Streamline.
and get there
Yeah.
faster,
Right.
get there way faster. So
Right.
that goes with a lot of coaching and things like that. So I think it is a great investment in ourselves and in
Yes.
our businesses. So your business is, obviously you talked about your story as built around personal transformation. And I know there are a lot of women out there that have something, to share. Any advice that you would give them, to maybe build a business around their story?
If it's on your heart and you feel like your story can help someone, even just one person, then go for it. Because there is one there is someone who needs to hear your story so that they hear proof that they can get out of their own way or their own
Mm,
circumstance. And if
hmm.
your story can provide hope for, like I said, even one person, it is worth getting scared, doing the scary stuff, putting yourself out there because it's so rewarding when that can happen. When I can't tell you, how many times uh, it still brings me to tears if I have a message. And then this doesn't even have to be from clients. This might be from someone who's just listened to a podcast episode and said, I listened to this episode, I put into practice what you mentioned, and I'm seeing changes and they're thankful and they're grateful. And it's 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 the best feeling in the world. We are here to love and to serve. So let your, take whatever you've gone through, let your tests become your testimony, and then let that be your purpose, taking your pain and turning it into purpose. And I think it can be a beautiful way to reframe the hardships that you've gone through.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has a story,
Everyone
and
has a
I
story.
heard, who was it? Was somebody that said, if you're not sharing the gifts or the abilities that you have, you're doing a disservice
Yeah.
to the world. It's
Yeah.
like by holding that back. So, I know we might have some folks on the call that are thinking about a business or they've just started something and they're not quite sure. So that's really encouraging, to say, yeah, you can take what you know and that what God gave you
Yeah.
and you can make it a business and serve others. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
so,
Anytime I have
so
clients because I've had a few clients that are like, I want to do this. I want to help other women. I'm like, go for it. Like, you can't have too many people out there serving each other. It just is.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you said that. It made me think of too, a lot of times we think about, competition and it's like, I think about it like there's not really any competition.
No.
Like even if somebody's doing exactly what I'm doing, or there might be a lot of people doing exactly what you do.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no competition. There is
No.
plenty of business for everyone. There's plenty of people to be served, and the way that you do it is not exactly like the way someone else does it.
Yeah, and everyone
So there's
connects in a different way. You know, not everyone will connect with my message or yours,
right.
but the right people will, and those are the people that are important that you want to find and help.
Exactly. Exactly. I love that. God will bring you the right people.
Yeah, you will.
He really will. So, okay. So becoming her, what's next? What do we have on the horizon? What's going on? Anything you can share with us?
So, I mean, aside from just continuing to grow, so continuing to serve, I absolutely love being able to share on my podcast knowledge, tips, practical things that women can take into their lives right now and start to make transformation. So, lots more content coming there. And then just growing, continuing to grow the communities that I have. I offer one on one coaching, and then I have a membership where there's a group of women in that membership who it's an amazing community. And one thing I think that's important is we all need community. Like we don't want to walk this walk alone. So when you can find the right people to support you who are going through the same journeys, know your struggles, know your pain, and they're there to tell you like, just keep going. We can do this together. It makes all the difference. So that's my goal is just to continue to grow that community. And it's been an amazing experience so far. So I'm just going to continue to listen to him, to continue to serve, and to continue to help as many women as I can.
It's so funny the interviews that we've done. Community is has come up almost
Oh,
every
good.
single time. So
Yeah,
that I mean that tells you just how important
it's
community
powerful.
is.
It's
It's
powerful.
very powerful. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, well, so before we wrap up, I know that you have a free gift for us. Can you
Yeah,
tell us about your gift?
I would love to. So I have a Master Your Metabolism Over 40 masterclass. So in that
Mm.
masterclass, it's 22 minutes of me explaining exactly how you can upregulate your metabolism, get it working for you again instead of against you. I walk you exactly through how to train, how to eat, how to phase your nutrition. And there is a fat loss guide after you watch the class. So you can download that, put all of these tactics into action, and start making amazing progress.
Wow, that is a fabulous gift.
Yeah,
I need that, right? I need
you
it
got
right now. I
it.
get it.
It's
Yay, I
all
get it.
yours.
Yay.
Yeah,
And everybody else gets it too.
of course.
That is so generous. Thank you so
Oh, of
much for
course.
sharing that with us and sharing your journey and your wisdom. Just thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. It's really been a pleasure, and I'm so happy that we got to connect, and I'm so happy that I was able to experience this. It's truly an honor and a joy.
Awesome.